Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Gina once again with another episode of Abstract Mixed Media. This is number 57. I am also trying to create something every day. This was inspired by Daisy Yellow Art, where she has a little challenge of doing 365 somethings for the year. So, I'm not doing too well, but I'm still creating. Yay! So I'm starting off with my bigger journal. It's a Strathmore, I think it's 9x12, and I just brayered on some white acrylic paint because, I just wanted a nice little rough surface, some texture, which actually looks and feels lovely. So now I'm just adding some green acrylic paint. This is by Deco Art, and I'm also brayering that on. I only applied it to the top area because in my mind, I wanted to do like a sort of division to the top. My colors today are green, black, and purple. I haven't used purple in a while, so I thought I'd use it today. And honestly, this page was very difficult because for some reason, when I sat down by the desk, my mind went blank. And it was kind of challenging. I sat there for quite a while. I ended up looking for other things. I ended up doing all sorts of other things and nothing happened. So, this is me trying to create. I'm just applying the paint. I liked how that line looked, so that's why I keep doing it over and over. That's the only reason. I didn't plan it. I just like how it looked. So now I'm going to use masking tape to tape off part of the bottom. So I've already bordered my page with the masking tape, but now I'm going to just tape off an area down at the bottom. My plan was to create a smaller square, not a square, a rectangle inside, mirroring the taped border. But for some reason I didn't do that. I stripped the tape in half. I tried my best to cut it straight, but it didn't work out. And then this happened instead. So I'm drying my paint because I don't want it to look like mud. And I'm trying to make sure that it sticks properly because I don't want the paint seeping underneath. And this is me trying to figure out what to do next. So I made sure to dry the green. And now I'm putting on some more purple. And then I didn't know what to do and I didn't want to brayer it. So I'm going to leave that there. And I just thought, why not use your palette knife and use the black because I haven't used it yet. So this is what's happening on the page. As I said, this one was really difficult for me. I don't know why I couldn't think of anything. Because I had other ideas before and then my mind just went blank. This is not what I had intended to do after taping off the bottom, but this is what's happening. And I started putting on the black and I was thinking, oh my gosh, Gina, what are you doing? This is too dark. This is too much black. What are you going to do with this black? This is crazy. Yeah, all of that was happening in my mind and I just continued putting it. Yep. And then I thought, maybe I needed some more. It's not black enough because it started to look a little gray because of how I was spreading it. So yeah, even though I'm thinking, this is too much, stop, I am still adding more and trying to make it look really black instead of gray. Interesting. But I'm also trying to keep some whitish space in the middle, as you can see. So I'm drying that to see how it's going to look. Then I had a bright idea to add some glitter because I was thinking, Gina, you really like glitter, but you don't really use it much in your pieces. So this is me today trying to add it to my glitter. So what I had in my head was black paint with some sprinkling of glitter, like glitter does, and just a nice sprinkling, like nail polish, how you have the black and you'll just see the glitter, like when you put it on your nail, it's just glitter in between. That's what I had in mind. But then when I was doing this, I was thinking, okay, So what we're going to do now is dust it off, and half of it is going to fall away, right? Off of the paper. But that didn't happen because clearly I spread a whole glob of glue onto my black. So this is when my brain was thinking, oh my gosh, Gina, remember you spread the glue all over the black, so it's not gonna look, spacey with the, like a night sky with stars. That's what I had in my head. Clearly this does not look like that. You can't even see the black. Anyway, so I was a little annoyed and with myself because I was thinking, duh, Gina, afterwards, obviously this is how it's going to look, right? So this is me thinking now, how can I fix this? Because I really wanted the black to show. So I'm just cleaning up, trying to think, what am I going to do next? How am I going to fix this? So I thought, okay, let me dry it and maybe I could probably add more paint over it. But no, I dismissed that one time. And then as I was drying it, I thought, maybe I should dust it off. So that's what I'm frantically doing now. And I'm using a dry, rough brush so I could dust off as much as possible while continuing to dry it, because I don't want to, spread the glue and then it becomes all clumpy and ugh. So I am dusting and drying, and it wasn't too bad. I felt a little better. So I'm looking at it again, I'm thinking, what's next? So I thought I could do some nice drag lines with the purple, but the purple dried. Well, mostly. So now, again, I'm thinking, well, you can't do that, Gina, so what are you going to do now? What are we going to do? Oh, this page was so challenging. So I thought I want to do some circles because we already have those dots, and those dots made me think of circles, the finger dots that I did. So I brought in my protractor. Is this a protractor or a compass? I always get the two mixed up. Please don't judge me. Please. I think it's a protractor. Yes. I don't know. Right. So I'm using it to draw different size circles. I'm kind of measuring before I draw it. Just, in my imaginary mind. I'm thinking, oh, that might look okay. No, too big. So I went down smaller. Right. So I'm liking those. And then I thought, maybe I could block off some of the areas, and I really had intentions to do drips. Would you believe? I had intentions to do drips somewhere on this page, but not the whole page. So this is my stencil, a new one that I purchased. I actually got it in a cake supply store. If you want some different kinds of stencils, try a cake supply store. I'm hesitating here because I'm trying to figure out if I should do it white first, white acrylic paint. See, I decided. Or if I should just do the purple. But I thought if I do the white acrylic paint, then the purple will stand out more. And I wanted the purple to really stand out. So I'm drying it because I have to try and remember where I put the stencil, because I had to move it around to fit inside the circle. So after I put the white, I dried it, and now I'm adding the purple. I'm trying to do it as least messy as possible because I really wasn't sure if I was getting it in the right areas. So I'm drying that, and then I'm going to just slide it over and add the other half part of the circle and see if I like it. And it looks okay. I mean, it did come out messy, but it looks okay. I think it's okay. So I'm just going to do the same process with this bigger one, but I'm not drying in between because I think I was kind of over it. Yeah, I did kind of dry, but not the way I did it for the first one. But when I got to this point, I was thinking, gosh, this is tedious. I didn't want to take so long doing this. I sped it up because it's kind of, but yeah, I was thinking, I don't know if I like this anymore. Has that ever happened to any of you? You're in the middle of doing something and you're thinking, I don't like this anymore. I want to change. So that happened to me. So when I saw this, I thought, maybe this is okay. Maybe should I leave it like this? But I kind of didn't like it. It's looking nice now, but when I was doing it, I was thinking, I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I want this pattern here. It kind of felt like it shouldn't be there. It didn't feel right at the time. So I decided to go brave and mix some colors and just slap it onto the page. And here my mind screamed, Gina, what are you doing? Yeah. And I'm sure some of you are thinking this, like, Gina, what are you? No, my God, I'm spoiling it. Yeah. I thought the same thing. I thought I was just messing it up, and I felt like I should stop, and I couldn't stop. My hand just kept going. It's true. My hand, I couldn't stop, because if I stopped, then it would just, it would just be bad. So I'm just adding paint. I already did it. So I just took the plunge again and again and again, and I just kept adding that paint, trying to somehow smear it out with the dry brush, because the brush is dry. I didn't add any water. And in the midst of this thing that's happening, I was thinking, okay, at least try not to cover up all the purple. So what's happening down here is I was seeing a lot of the pattern still coming through, and I didn't want to see it because, as I said, I didn't feel it. I really didn't feel that pattern. I don't know why, but I didn't want to see it coming through the paint that I'm putting down now. So I'm trying to cover it up a bit. I ended up covering more than I planned to. Even the line across with the dots, I didn't want to cover it up, but it happened, and I just kept going. And here I'm like, Gina, what are you doing? This looks awful. What do I do next? So I dried it to make up some time, and I thought, okay, I'm still seeing my purple through. I'm just gonna try and cover it up. I'm trying to use the same colors on the page, and I'm thinking I need to do something with the circle on the right. And I'm hesitating because, it's tough. And then I just took the plunge again, and I just did it. And then after I did it, I had to keep doing it to fix it, right? Oh, this page was a super hot challenge. So I dried it in between to give it another layer, and also to try to kind of blend it out. And then I was trying not to add so much dark, because the bottom part has so much darkness already. It's already so dark. So I was trying for up and top to be nice and bright and light and la-di-da. But I don't know. So I went in with all this lovely black and gray. And I can't believe that I left that like that, because it looks so odd. It looks unfinished. Then I thought, you know what this page needs? Some splashes. So this is me bringing in some splashes, and I'm thinking, we need to brighten you up. Right. So I'm brightening it up, and I started to feel a little better about it. I started to feel a little happy and like, yeah, this is what we needed. And then I thought, let's lighten up that corner. So I just splashed some acrylic white on, and now I'm trying to blend it out with whatever brush I have, right? And I didn't want it to go too far in, because I really like that bottom brayered layer. So I'm trying my best not to cover up too much of the bottom and not to carry that too far out. The green wasn't supposed to end just right there, but it did. And I should have tried to fix it, but I did not want to cover up more of the page than was happening already. So I'm just coming in with a baby wipe, trying to take up some of that paint, and yeah, I'm just checking to see what's happening now. So I thought, let's bring in some dots, some black dots. I was kind of wondering if I should do dots or if I should do another kind of shape around those purple dots, finger dots. But then I just decided, you know what, the page already has so much black, so let's just do some small black dots inside. And then as we went further to the left, because it's faded, I thought let's kind of just put a dot and wipe up half of it so it will look faded as well. So that's why I'm kind of wiping it up as we go along. Then I thought, okay, it's time to move this tape from below here. Let's see how it looks. Let's see if it inspires me to do something better or different. I don't know. I was like, oh my gosh. So when I took off that first tape, it looked really nice. And I thought I should use it on the page. So I decided to use the 2 thinner strips, which is what I'm doing now. And I'm just going to use it up on top. Ta-da! Transfer. So I'm taking a look. Do I like it? Do I want to leave it there? And then I thought, yes, I'm going to use it. I'm going to make it work somehow. I felt like I should have put it a bit lower though. Like I wish there was more space between the finger dots and the strips. But I already put my glue down. So it is what it is. It already happened. And I'm just sticking it down. And then I thought, you can't really see the middle too much, you know. So while that's there, I should have waited for it to dry some more, but I thought, let me try and cut it now before I forget. I didn't want to forget. And I'm just cutting the edge of the tape so that when I pull off the edges, the border tape, it will just come off clean instead of lift, you know, because I may have forgotten. It happens. It has happened. And I didn't want to rip up those 2 strips by mistake. So I'm just cutting it. I'm trying my best not to move it out of place. I'm holding it down. And I'm thinking, I can't wait to see how this looks. I really cannot wait to see how it looks when I take off the border tape. So I decided to brighten up the middle and to help those finger dots show up more by adding white acrylic paint on the inside. I thought about painting it, but then from my experience when I've tried to do that before, it usually didn't turn out good, and then it took long to dry. And you know, when you go wet over wet, it doesn't really work out good, as well, at least with the paints that I use, which is Deco Art. So, and even the Sargent, because I used white acrylic Sargent, just Sargent only for that one. Oh, you know, I actually could have tried using my white gesso. I didn't even think of that. Wow. Anyway, I used the pen because it has a nice fine tip. I swapped it out with the other one. The other one was too thick. So I got my thinner one with the finer point. And I'm using this instead, and it's working out much better. And I thought maybe I should use the ruler. It could probably work better. You see, I was doing it faster. And then I pressed down in the middle, and then it ran underneath. And I screamed. And I flung the ruler away. I was like, no! Yeah. But I kind of wiped it up a little bit. Yeah. So I'm just trying to go over some of the areas that I felt were dried, because I did that line first, and I'm just going over it again, trying to darken it up or brighten it to make it more opaque. So you could see it more. Yeah. And then I was thinking, okay, this is not too bad anymore, you know, I'm kind of liking it now. This page was real guesstimation. Lots of guessing and, oh, let's try this, let's try that. Oh, how are we going to fix the air? So I thought, since I did the top, maybe I should do the bottom to help it, you know, look uniform and to help tie it in. So I went in with my purple. This is from Pointer. And as I drew that line across in the middle, I thought, Gina, you should not have done that. You should have left it open. But I couldn't undo it, and I just left it. So I'm just drawing the purple This is also acrylic paint, but it's by Pointer. I'm just doing it right across all my strips there. And I would have loved to have that nice lime green looking color, but I didn't. So I thought, well, the closest thing is yellow. So I'm using the yellow. But then I was thinking, I don't know if this is looking good. I don't think I like these colors together. But I thought maybe if I finish it, it will look better. You know, but as I was doing it, I was thinking, I don't know if I like this yellow on this page. So I used my ruler again. This one isn't as runny. This pen is not as runny. So I used my pen to help, and I'm looking at it and I'm still thinking, I don't know if I like this yellow on this page. So I left that there for a bit and I thought, okay, let me go over my white, you know, take my eye away from that section. Let's focus on something else while that's doing its thing. And then I'll look at it again and see, do I like it? You know what I mean? Right. So we're brightening up the white again, making it even more visible, hoping it's popping. And then I didn't like it. So I just took my pen and I went over it and got rid of it. And I thought it would look better if it's a nice faint yellow, you know, even if it shows up a little bit under the white rather than how it is there. At least that's how I felt. So I just did one layer for all and I was much happier. I was like, yes, this is so much better. Yeah. So now I think I'm done. I'm taking off my tape. And I was happy. I love those crisp edges. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I thought, take off some more of that glitter. I wanted to see more of the book, below. So I'm doing that with another dry brush. I'm trying to take off as much as I can. And yeah, I was really surprised by how this turned out because it's nothing at all like what I had in my head. As I said, there were supposed to be drips. And I wasn't supposed to have these crisp lines like this, you know. This is nothing like what I thought it would be. So, let me know what you think. I know it's a long one, but if you stuck it out with me, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. You know, if you think I should have done something else at a different part, if I should have stopped at a certain point, if I should have added this, let me know. I would love to hear it and see it from your point of view. So I am looking forward to your comments as always. And as always, thank you for joining me on this journey. I hope you have created something as well. I hope it inspired you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!